as you can be. Again, try to get as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Interior room and bathroom underneath the staircase. Those types of areas are pretty safe, or the safest in your home, likely, unless you have a basement. But 540, that is going to be for Taylor, Talbot, and Upson County. And yeah, Taylor, Talbot, and Upson County. That goes until 6:15. I'm going to clear up radar. We'll show you our shear product and area of shear moving right over 540. So here's State Route 96, Wesley Church Road. This is where we are seeing that area of rotation and where it's going to continue to head. And just checking with the National Weather Service. Continues to tighten up. And we are going to be watching this. Okay, we're getting another severe thunderstorm warning in the state as well. So this is going to continue to move off to the north and east and get into storm motion on this, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So let me go ahead and jump back. We'll track this right out for you. We'll keep our shear product on, show you the area of circulation, and this is going to be moving off to the northeast at 35 miles an hour. So we'll track it out to 1 hour. And here's some areas that we are going to be concerned with. Sandy Point, Roberta, Fickley Mill, you're right on the edge of this right now. 552 is when that tornado warning is about midway through, but this is going to continue to move off to the north and east at about 35 miles per hour. So we do have that tornado watch that was issued several hours ago from the National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center, and they do a very good job at this. And we're going to check and see if we have any signs that there could be something on the ground doing damage at this point. But it appears to just be radar indicated, but a pretty good area of circulation there. And taking a look at our wind. Can you say that again, Ryan? Okay. And here's a look at velocity. So these winds, even if a tornado isn't on the ground, which we haven't been confirmed of that, but this is pinging winds of over 60 miles per hour in that area of rotation, very evident. Not showing any signs of debris or anything on the ground right now. Let's jump back to radar, and we'll show you a big picture. So this is the only warning that we do have here in Middle Georgia at this point. But here's Thomaston, here's Butler. This is going to be moving right toward the Roberta area and moving off to the north and east. Let's throw lightning on here. We'll show you how much lightning is usually a good indicator of storms and how potent they are as they continue to develop and kind of cycle. And we're not getting a ton of lightning out of this. And this is a typical setup where we don't have a ton of available energy for these storms to tap into, but there's other ingredients at play, such as wind shear, that really allow for these storms to rotate. And we're getting an update from the National Weather Service. Okay, they're going to continue that severe thunderstorm warning and continue the tornado warning as well. So this is going to be moving off to the north and east. We'll show their shear marker again. Let's go back a little bit and show you what we were talking about with this shear marker and when the National Weather Service went ahead and issued that tornado warning. So this area of circulation was crossing right over 41. There's Geneva, there's Mock just to the north and west of that. And then we'll track this off to the north and east. And we'll show you right about there, really showed some signs of rotation. And when we see those bright greens, and that's right about when the National Weather Service started to really talk about this storm and draw our attention to it as well. But that continued to move off to the north and east. And this product's a little delayed, but still does a great job, just kind of clearing it out and shows us exactly what to look for. But this is going to be up through Fickley Mill, Jarrell, there's Carsonville, all included in this severe thunderstorm warning and tornado warning for the areas in red. Just want to ask, are we streaming on Facebook Live and all the others? Can we make sure we're doing that as well, folks. But this severe thunderstorm warning for the areas in orange and areas in red underneath that tornado warning, that does go until 6:15 as well. So very potent storm, and we've been talking about this for a couple of days, and this is going to be one of those rain-wrapped tornadoes where you're not going to be able to get outside and take a look at it. So if you do hear the tornado sirens going off in your area, if you're trying to get outside and take a look, you won't. So the area of circulation is going to be right in here, and you can see the radar returns very, very colorful, indicating that very heavy rainfall coming down. So definitely not going to be able to see that tornado on the ground if there is one. And I haven't got any confirmation from that from the National Weather Service. And we're starting to see that rotation come down a little bit. And we'll show you in velocity, and we'll kind of jump around to show a little bit. And this is going to be from the radar site up near Atlanta. So this is going to be a little bit higher into the layers of the atmosphere. But if we switch to the radar in Jeffersonville, not as a prominent area of rotation, but you can definitely still see some broad rotation, not as strong as it was. And that's what we like to see with these storms. We'll go back to our debris tracker and see if anything's getting thrown up into the atmosphere with this system. And I'm not seeing anything. And what we're looking for here is we will see a hole appear where the area of rotation is, and that is indicating that there's different particles in the atmosphere other than just rain or hail. It picks up the difference between a hailstone and a leaf, also twigs and stuff like that getting sucked up into the updraft and getting pumped into the upper layers of the atmosphere. And good news is we're not seeing any of that, also known as a TDS or tornado debris signature. And that is good news that we aren't seeing that. And I think this is definitely going to outrun this warning. This warning goes until 6:15, but we are definitely tracking this tornado warned storm right now. You can see those looks like almost two different areas of circulation, which could mean that the storm is cycling. So what happens when we get these supercells is they cycle. So they'll appear to get stronger, and then they'll weaken a little bit, get a little bit more organized, and then strengthen a little bit. So we're going to definitely stay with this storm as it continues to move off to the north and east at 35 miles per hour. But you can see this is already about halfway through that warning box, and this goes for another 36 minutes. So this is a pretty long-lived tornado warning, but the area of circulation, it jumps out at you. This is one of those things where you see this on a velocity scan, and it's something that we need to be concerned with. So we'll zoom right down in here, and we'll show you a couple crossroads and areas that we are concerned with. So here's County Road 263, Gerald, County Road 90, and this is going to be 208, and there's 19. These areas are underneath that tornado warning, and that area of circulation is going to continue to move off to the north and east at 35 miles per hour. Okay, obviously we're getting reports of some very heavy rainfall with this as well, and this comes with a flash flood risk as well. 3 to 4 inches of rain possible in the next 24 hours, and we're already starting to see some of that very heavy rainfall come down. So looking a little bit further down the pipeline, there's Roberta, there's 128, there's 137. This is all going to head off to the north and east. Hopefully we see it become a little bit more disorganized once again and continue that trend. We just got a new radar scan. Still looking a little messy. And again, this is from the radar up near Atlanta. And this is going to be shooting pretty high into the storm. I think this is going to be our best look. And you can see that area of rotation. When we start getting these greens and reds really close to each other, that's a little bit concerning, but I don't see it tightening up to a point. So gate to gate shear, let's go 1, 2 over. So there's not much gate-to-gate shear with this, which is good news. Not picking up on that rotation. But the winds are definitely going in opposite directions there. Green is in, red is away. And that definitely catches my attention. So this is just to the west of Gerald 208 is going to be the road that this is crossing over, moving up toward Carsonville. Just checking with the National Weather Service, seeing if we got any updates. Let's go back to our debris tracker. And this is one of those tools that helps us, this area of the country not conducive for chasing storms and having a bunch of chasers out there and being able to confirm what's going on at the ground. So a lot of it relies on radar data. And since this happened, we started getting the ability to kind of confirm this was on the ground from radar. But as of now, no confirmation. And you can see things getting a little squirrely there with the debris tracker. But it's elongated. It's not in that nice tight circle that we look for when we are looking for a tornado debris signature with these storms. But definitely still showing some broad rotation with this, at least. Put a track on this one more time. And here's some areas kind of down the pipeline a little bit. Again, this warning does go until 6:15, but some of the towns a little bit further down the line. Roberta at 6:02, Lizella at 6:20, Bolingbroke at 6:28, Macon at 6:34, and the shops there at River Crossing at about 6:33. So we'll be watching the storm as it moves off to the north and east. Let's take a big look at the big picture and kind of show you what else is going on. So we do have these storms down in southwest Georgia, and I'm showing you these because this is where that came from. So these storms are going to continue to move off to the north and east. So we're not going to be done with this threat here for some time as that storm and system moves off to the east. But look at all the heavy rain setting up. So here's Macon, there's Columbus, there's Montgomery. All of that heavy rainfall with rates 2 to 3 inches per hour going to be moving through the area, and that's why that flash flood watch has been issued, and the concern for severe weather is going to be there as well. So let's take a look at that tornado watch, and we'll show you what area is covered in this. And you can see really the western half of middle Georgia. So Monticello, Macon, Forsyth, Warner Robins, Perry, Fort Valley, Montezuma, Americus, and this storm is moving right here, right from Butler up toward Roberta, and eventually going to move off to the north and east. Now, one of the reasons why this tornado watch only goes this far east is the further east that you go, the less ingredients that those storms have to work with. So this storm, as it continues to move off to the east, should continue to weaken, and that's definitely what we're seeing with the velocity signature that we've been watching over the last couple of scans. So right about there, check for an update. Okay, no confirmation from the National Weather Service. Okay, so news update from the National Weather Service at 5:44, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Carsonville, or 9 miles north of Butler, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. And this is back a little bit. So here's the area of rotation as it moved off to the north and east. That is what the National Weather Service was looking at. That's what we were all looking at behind the scenes. Junction City, that is when the tornado warning was issued, or shortly after that. And you can kind of see that area of rotation, definitely not as prominent as it was about a half hour ago when this warning was issued. And let's take this one back a little bit. And again, same area, different radar. We use different types of radar products, and we use actually different radars, trying to get a closer look and a look at the different levels in the atmosphere. So switching to a radar further away shows you how strong the cyclone could be, if it's just in the upper levels of the atmosphere, if it's working its way down into the middle, and then if it becomes surface based. So this is something that we are going to watch closely. But from the National Weather Service, rotation continues to weaken in Taylor County, and we like to hear that, but there's still enough of and issues, enough rotation in this storm that the National Weather Service isn't going to cancel this. But you can kind of see not nearly as evident as what it was. But there's Carsonville. So that's what the National Weather Service is telling us once again. But they continue this tornado warning. And for those of you that are hearing noises or think you're hearing noises, the cow just kind of lets me know. It's not something that you typically hear in a newsroom. So that draws my attention when we hear the word tornado or appears in the National Weather Service chat. That is what we're hearing, and it draws my attention to it. And again, don't hear that too often in the newsroom. So it's one of those things that just catches my attention, and that's what I use to let me know the word tornado has been discussed and put in the chat. So again, here's Roberta, here's 341, here's 19. That area of rotation definitely going to be rain wrapped. And looking at the actual radar product, this definitely lines up with what we're seeing with velocity. I'm not showing that signature supercell look to this, and we're continuing to see the velocity product. Let's go back to shear. This cleans everything up, and again, this will tell us what we need to know in terms of rotation. So here's the rotation, still a little bit showing up on the shear tracker. And that just gets rid of your velocity data, gets rid of the radar data showing us the rain, and shows you exactly where that area of rotation is. And we can take you right down to street level. There is a little bit of delay in this, but County Road 90 up toward County Road 92, there's 19, and there's 208, and that is going to be the area where this rotation is currently, but it is tracking off to the north and east and continuing to weaken. And the good news is this is continuing to weaken, but as it continues to move off to the east into a less favorable environment, this is what we're hoping and expecting the other storms to do that are off to the north and west of us. Things are going to come together a little bit more. Okay, so there was the noise, and the National Weather Service has canceled that tornado warning for this time, and really seeing that area of rotation working. Producers, Greg, do you guys want to go to commercial break and then come back after that, and then we can continue with the news here at 5 o'clock? Okay. All right. So let's give it about 10 seconds. Master control. Okay, we're gonna wait until we get on with master control and get this confirmed. But we do have storms moving into middle Georgia. Some of them are rotating. Nothing as significant as what we just had. That tornado warning was allowed to expire. We're going to see some very heavy rainfall. So you can kind of see this line of where these storms are coming from here and here. That's where we're going to get the heavy rain setting up. And we'll see this transitioning the later we go into the evening to a damaging wind threat, and going to be looking at a flash flooding threat setting up as well. So something to still be concerned with. You don't want to be driving around and encounter that flash flooding, but we'll continue to monitor these storms, and we'll show you the shear tracker. Really no other areas of shear that we are concerned with here in the state right now. You can see some of those brighter colors back toward Eufaula where that tornado warning has been issued. But again, as these storms work over the atmosphere and kind of take a few of those ingredients away, we're expecting this severe weather threat to kind of taper off a little bit through the evening, but we're not done with it yet. We will see the potential for more severe storms overnight into tomorrow. But again, with these storms moving through this area, yeah, I'm ready to go. So we will be back momentarily. We're going to jump to commercial break, but we'll have more news and weather coming up right on the other side of this break.